Mr. Chair, I have no intention to lecture the committee. If the committee resolves that the context of the post is irrelevant to the commission, the question here, I'm happy to proceed as the committee has directed. Now,
proceed as the committee has directed.
Mr. Chair, I am saying here clearly that my post was not intended to disparage members of the committee, and I have not intended to say that members of this committee have received or demanded bribes from various individuals. At no point was my statement intended to communicate same. And for those reasons, I apologize. Mr. Chair, the reason why I have left the post on and not deleted it, in fact, I did contemplate it too. As the conversation has generated, as indicated, and the clarity has been brought to it, I'm happy to.
Sure. You are hereby advised to also do a disclaimer of what you claim you are not responsible. Then we can pick it up from there.
Most grateful. I reiterate again categorically, and for all intents and purposes, as I have done 4 days ago and continue to do, that I have at no point uttered those words. All I know about the statement that appeared on an MPP Projects Bureau Facebook account. That's it. I don't know the source of it.
Thank you very much. You may now proceed to let us have copies of your disclaimer at the various platforms.
Most grateful, my chair. I'm happy to provide same.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, the apology.
Chairman, thank you for the opportunity. To our friend Oliver, for me, I think what you've done, if you follow it through, it will help all of us, including you. Chairman, thank you very much. Chairman, thank you for the opportunity. Learned Counsel, I would need you to make certain clarifications, and upon those clarifications, I'm sure we'll be able to put this matter to a peaceful rest. I understood you to mean earlier that you were apologizing on behalf of your client on a post made by him, and then of course you had a disclaimer on another one. This committee, as Roxanne had earlier intimated, is only here to make preliminary determination, which determination would enable the chair of the committee very same to the plenary. Then upon that, Speaker would make a referral to the Privileges Committee. However, before that determination, and I must say here, at this point, we are trying to establish a prima facie case to mount that contempt application. However, if the subject is here to say, look, I am sorry, it ends the matter. There will be no need to make any referral. There will be no need to take the matter up at the plenary. So we put it to rest. Having said that, I need you to clarify, as I earlier said. One, you introduced, and Leonard, before I get you to clarify, I need you to take note that certain matters that have already been introduced by you give rise to some inquisition. So in asking you to clarify, I'm giving an opportunity still for you, if you so desire, to put all strenuous matters that were earlier introduced to a peaceful rest, if you so desire. So one, you had said that your client was only a whistleblower, was being a whistleblower. To say your client is a whistleblower, meaning that he's exercising his rights in law, having come across an issue, and as part of his democratic rights and to enrich democracy, he has decided to blow the whistle. To blow a whistle must be founded on something. So, Learned Counsel, I would want the first point. Would you want to take away that aspect of your earlier submission to the effect that your client was a whistleblower? Would you want to take that away so that we can deal with? Would you want to withdraw that aspect?
Mr. Chairman, with all due respect, it is the last thing my client will want to withdraw. It is the last thing my client will want to. He's instructed me. I've indicated that as a citizen, either by law or as civic responsibility, he feels obliged to draw attention by any means possible to ills or ill wrongs going on. This is a great institution of state. And my client says that he saw something, he heard other things, he was worried, so he came public. It is the obligation of every citizen, as a citizen, not necessarily by law or the Constitution, to speak out to wrongs. If in the process of articulating that wrong, there's an assumption that he'd erred, he says he's prepared to apologize. It doesn't write off what he said, he saw, or he heard. So, with all due respect, Mr. Chairman, if I may just make a small point, with all due respect.
Mr. Atuata, hold on, sir. Please.
You have to let
Sir, Nana Ato Dazi.
Yes.
Sir, all of us here, we come several generations after you in this enterprise of politics. At the time you served as chief of staff and even completed your tenure as chief of staff, I was still in school. Please. Sometimes the approach can get things out of hand. At this committee level, we have decided that if you are apologizing, then let us resolve the matter here. But sir, with the greatest respect to you, you had indicated that your client was blowing a whistle. I heard you. I wanted to give another opportunity by way of clarity, because in one breath you say you are apologizing for putting out a statement. And you're doing so because you don't have factual basis to put it out, or that there is no evidence to that claim. Look, if there is nothing to apologize and your client feels strongly about what he has put out, let us then proceed to refer the matter to the Privileges Committee, where he would have his right in law to come and defend himself so that we know where we are going. But if you now say that, oh, he is a whistleblower and exercising his constitutional right because he's heard something, he has to say something. Here, whatever that he heard, you and I know that in this country, Ghana, as particularly Accra here, people hear things every minute. Should we begin to be typing things that we hear? I've heard Kojo Mensah has done A, Adjuata has done B, Ama Mansa is this. So we say that we are blowing a whistle. Then there will be chaos in the country. So, Leonard, with the greatest respect to you again, I know you are here on the instructions of your client. I'm asking you, would you want to take away that aspect of your submission which you condition on your apology, that he was acting as a whistleblower? Do you want to maintain it? Yes, no. I don't want to keep you.
No, please, we respect 50 years at the bar. I'm entitled, with all due respect, to appear to understand the processes being here. Now, I was drawing, Mr. Chairman, I've tried severally to draw attention to the fact that we were invited here specifically to under Article 1036 of the 1992 Constitution and Order 14. That's it's stated here. This is why we're here. We have not been brought here under Article 124, which is the general realm of contempt against Parliament. Article 124 would have had the right, as Honorable Minority is saying, to explain everything. Now, I am worried for my client in the sense that this committee, or for that matter, the minority leader, is indicating that what they are doing is a preliminary, stage towards mounting contempt proceedings or serious matter. Now,
not necessarily. I don't intend to cut you. What we are, wait.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
I know you've done 50 years at the bar, but your newer generation can always assist you and to freshen your law. So we can always come because you've trained us well, and we have what it takes to draw attention to some discrepancies in the law. So you've done 50 years. I respect that. But please, pay attention to the proceedings. What we're saying is very simple. We've heard something. The committee has invited you. You have in fact given respect to the committee by appearing. The committee is finding out from you the posts. On this table, you have confirmed one post, you've denied the other. That is fair enough. Second, you are saying that the very post that you accept as coming from you, you apologize unreservedly. What we are saying is that to the extent that at this point you are rendering an apology, the matter dies and we put the matter to a peaceful rest. It doesn't travel beyond this table. However, in view of the fact that the very apology is laced with some conditions, we want to give you an opportunity again to then clarify. Because for me, if you maintain the position that, look, you were acting as a whistleblower and that you acted based on what you heard and you had reason to rely on it, we are both counsels. Reliance, was it reasonable to rely on it? In relying on a fact, would you end up hurting somebody's interests? The reasonability tests in law of thought that every student knows. At what point do you rely on a matter? No, Chair, let me finish with respect. At what point do you rely on it? The whistleblower law that you refer to, including your right therein, at what point do you invoke those rights? So I am just drawing your attention to all these matters to then invite you back to the earlier point. That are you saying that I am sorry, I shouldn't have posted this, let's end it here? Or you are now saying that you are a whistleblower, you've heard, and that as part of your democratic right, you have to. You, as a former chief of staff, knows all too well the effect of some of these statements on the reputation of the country and its institutions. You've been in government, you've been part of the national security architecture of this country, and you can tell the effect of some of these things on the very democracy that your client says he's exercising his right under. I would want to ask, based on your response to me as a final response, I would then be able to confer with chairman, and then we know what to do. Are we accepting an absolute apology, unconditional apology, to put this matter to a peaceful rest? Is that where we are, council? So that we know what we are doing. Are we putting this matter? Chair, relax.
Chairman, Ato, one second.
Please, you don't have the floor. Let's let him.
So, Leonard Council,
conclude.
Are you here with an unconditional apology on the ownership of the other statement? An absolute one, unconditional, say so in clear language, let's leave here. If you feel strongly about some other things that indeed you've heard and you believe that verily same is true and you believe that is your right and you have to express it, say so. Then that one you cannot be apologetic about it when you feel strongly that indeed your source is reliable. Then we can escalate. But as we speak, you are not before a committee holding contempt proceedings. No. We are doing preliminary verification, validation of what has come to us. So I leave the floor to you, guided by what I have just put out. Thank you.
Before you come in,
1 second.
Leonard Council, when you raise the issue relating to Act 720, I brought it to the fore that particular law, the Whistleblowers Act, laid down a procedure for a whistleblower to follow. And it is definitely not social media, because action taken at social media has its own implication, and somebody who really wants to act as a whistleblower has a procedure to follow in blowing the whistle for a necessary action to be taken. So I thought the issue relating to being a whistleblower has settled by that statement made by the chair. So I do not want a situation where issues relating to a right under the Whistleblowers Act will then again be a subject matter of discussion. So if he is here to render unqualified apology, then we'll give him the opportunity so to do, so that we can bring this issue to an end.
Well, Mr. Chairman, first of all, let me apologize for my lack of clarity to this committee. Maybe that's what's led to all this. But I did say, right from the word go, that two statements were made. The second one, we rejected completely. The first one, we said, yes, we made that post but it gave a certain reason and indicated that if that statement appears or seems to have,
Counsel,
please.
Counsel, with the greatest respect, as we sit here, very respected senior citizens of this country are engaging us. We were initially divided on this matter. Please help your client. It's not a matter of Leonard. We respect you. It's because I'm sure he knows why he chose you. You are a respected counsel. This issue of if, are you rendering an unqualified apology? If not, let's close this matter. Are you apologizing and are you going to pull it down and all? Let's close this matter because the speaker is of the view that we should manage this thing, and that is why we are managing. But you cannot continue. We give you the chance. 50 years at the bar, this at the bar. No, Mr. Nana, 2000.
I would have protested.
No, you can't protest if you want us to have one. No, because I've opened the window for us to solve this matter.
Member.
This is not an NDC MPP matter. No, Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, with the greatest respect, I am. No. We want to solve. We want to solve it. But this is not a matter of 10 years at the bar, 50 years at the bar. We are solving a problem. We have no, please. Honorable, respected former chief of staff, respected politician and counsel. We are here to cooperate with you to solve a matter. We've also listened to good counsel. If you realize, both sides have come to a conclusion to solve this matter so that we don't escalate. I repeat, are you rendering an unqualified apology with the understanding from you that you are going to pull down the post? Yes, no. Let's proceed.
Yes. Chairman, before we proceed.
Record that the statement that he admitted to be the author is the one that we are asking him to render. He said, I am not the author of this particular statement. It is incumbent upon the committee to deal with it regarding whoever is behind the statement. So we are limiting him to the statement that he admitted to be the author. Unless he's ready to provide evidence of what he is saying, let's proceed. You render the apology, and then you just pull the statement down, and then we walk away.
Chairman, and also issue a disclaimer on that one. It's very important because the lawyer can only speak on matters of law. And Mr. Vormawor has all the facts known to him, and in whichever capacity is seated there as a witness or whatever,
Patrick
all the facts.
Honorable Patrick Vormawor, this must come as an advice to him. After he has rendered the apology, then we advise him that once you said you are not the author of this particular statement, we expect you to really issue a disclaimer. And your disclaimer will even help the committee to take the person on.
No, but we are glad to do it.
So, Honorable Counsel, the floor is now being given to your client.
No, unless I'm, Mr. Chairman, with due respect, unless I'm ruled out to speak. But I'm here representing my client, and it's my duty and obligation to ensure that he doesn't run into any challenges which he is not entitled to be pushed into. If we want to, what we want to do is to ensure that we don't end up making statements which will appear to incriminate us and violate our right to self-incrimination. I will, in a moment, allow my client to make a response, but our point is that, yes, we made that statement, but we are saying that it was not intended.
Honorable Chief of Staff, are you doubting the integrity of this committee?
No, I don't know where.
So that is why we are giving you our words.
You're very well.
That, why?
Please. Mr. Vormawor, yeah. Be cool.
You have the floor.
Honorable Chairman and members of the Appointments Committee, I am grateful for the opportunity to appear before you to address concerns regarding recent posts on social media and subsequent misreporting or other ones that have been generated which has caused apprehension within the distinguished House. I want to begin by reiterating my utmost respect for the committee and its constitutional role and the job or task it has to vet persons to high office in this country. Yesterday, I watched the proceedings and was eagerly looking forward to the vetting of Dr. Manibuama, a man of enormous integrity and respect. I want to extend my apologies to him that his vetting process became the subject of, in some respects, overshadowed by conversations about an alleged post. I'm grateful that the committee in its wisdom has invited me and, in fact, also allowed the vetting to continue, which allowed Dr. Manibuama to show his grit and integrity. Mr. Chairman, yesterday, the second Deputy Minority Whip and Member of Parliament for Weja, Gbawe, the Honorable Jerry Ahmed Shaib, read a statement which is being referred to as the second statement, which was repeatedly attributed to me. As has been said categorically, those statements were not mine. At no point did I accuse the chair of this committee or members of the NDC for having asked for or to be given money or to submit themselves to oral. It is in fact on record that I've praised the chair of this committee for his leadership of the committee during the ministerial vettings. And these were my comments, sir. May God grant us all the serenity and maturity of Honorable Ahiafo Bernard, for in the face of grave immaturity and tantrums, he retains the dignity, his dignity. To those of you who say he's weak for refusing to engage, I think that he has shown that strength is not loud, it is patient and deliberate. Mr. Chairman, I categorically dissociate myself from the comments attributed to me, I mean from subsequent remarks that have been made by others that I was accusing certain members of this committee for corruption. The misinformation, as I said, was appeared on a Facebook post under one NPP Projects Bureau. In fact, there's evidence that 4 days ago when the post appeared, I commented on it as being fake. The same post found its way into platforms of various lawyers, and repeatedly I disassociated myself from those comments and said that they were fake. We're happy to provide the committee with evidence of same. Unfortunately, I must also address the claim that it is a notorious fact that he's a member of the NDC. In fact, I must say that the victory of the NDC, now everybody says they are NDC members. But this is completely untrue. I have not been a member of the NDC in the past, and it is my hope that my ideology, which has always been stated, I've always voted consistently for the CPP, and I will continue to do so. Mr. Chair, I want to, in fact, provide context and clarity to the post that have caused consternation before the committee. In fact, when I was making the post, I was referring in many respects, yes, to information that I had, and also in particular to these types of allegations that come up often and that plague this committee and its honorable duty before it. The intent of the post was to invite persons who were reaching out to me in my inbox because of the work I do, that there ought to be a process by which they submit themselves to. Now, in my choice of word, in fact, if you look at the statement that was made, that have been shared with me, you would see that the post has been edited several times because I'm trying to convey the right tone. Unfortunately, perhaps lacking the gift of the gab, I made the post in a manner that suggests that I was accusing specific members of this committee to this. And Mr. Chair, if you allow me to further draw the committee's attention to the real import of that post and what I was trying to achieve with it.
Please, there is no need reading the statement. We all have copies. So just proceed. Just proceed with your
Mr. Chair,
apology.
Mr. Chair, the truth is, despite this, I was in fact working on an article concerning this very issue. And that the context of the post were reflections that I were having in connection with so many issues that I found as part of my research. And if the committee would allow me, I'm able to provide that again, context and clarity. I say unequivocally, Mr. Chair, on Monday evening, I watched the current majority leader on CCTV's point of view. He spoke about concerns he and others has raised in the past regarding improper approaches that have been made to the committee. I am aware that an ad hoc committee was set up by the House which found that because it did not provide documentary evidence of improper approaches, he should apologize. Today, he stands elevated among his peers. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Manasseh Azure published a book, The President Ghana Never Got. This was his words in the book.
Please, are you going to render apology? We are not interested in what Manasseh has said in the past. Please. Please.
Mr. Chairman, I crave your indulgence for context and clarity. I crave your indulgence for context and clarity as to why my post. In the book, Mr. Manasseh said, Muntaka never mentioned that the only cash that came to the appointment
Mr.
committee...
Oliver Barker Vormawor, are you going to do justification or you want to render an apology and we close this meeting?
Mr. Chair, I have no intention to lecture the committee. If the committee resolves that the context of the post is irrelevant to the commission, the question here, I'm happy to proceed as the committee has directed. Now,
Proceed as the committee has directed.
Mr. Chair, I am saying here clearly that my post was not intended to disparage members of the committee, and I have not intended to say that members of this committee have received or demanded bribes from various individuals. At no point was my statement intended to communicate same. And for those reasons, I apologize. Mr. Chair, the reason why I have left the post on and not deleted it, in fact, I did contemplate it too. As the conversation has generated, as indicated, and the clarity has been brought to it, I'm happy to.
Sure. You are hereby advised to also do a disclaimer of what you claim you are not responsible. Then we can pick it up from there.
Most grateful. I reiterate again categorically, and for all intents and purposes, as I have done 4 days ago and continue to do, that I have at no point uttered those words. All I know about the statement that appeared on an MPP Projects Bureau Facebook account. That's it. I don't know the source of it.
Thank you very much. You may now proceed to let us have copies of your disclaimer at the various platforms.
Most grateful, my chair. I'm happy to provide same.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, the apology.
Chairman, thank you for the opportunity. To our friend Oliver, for me, I think what you've done, if you follow it through, it will help all of us, including you. So please proceed as you have said to do the needful. That's all about it. Thank you, Chairman. You may proceed.
Thank you very much. Legal Counsel, your client, having apologized, is hereby discharged.
The patience and tolerance.
Thank you very much for attending upon the committee and clarifying issue.
Yeah.
My hope and the prayer is that the media would equally handle this, to use the word, with equal prominence as how the allegation was handled. Thank you all.